Hey, it's Jeremy here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a Claymorphism effect in Adobe Illustrator. Let's go. So I've created this quick little mock, and you can see these buttons have a soft feel to it, a soft tone, and you can create this effect. Instead of just doing like normal buttons, you can create this sort of Claymorphism effect. It's very like floaty, it's very soft, playful, and fun and friendly, and that's what it's all about. So I'm going to show you how to sort of create this type of button or effect. Now you can research Claymorphism, on Pinterest and Dribble, and you can find some examples. So just imagine we have this flat button. I'm just going to duplicate this. So obviously you've got some text here. I'll just put it up, and we've got this rectangle or square. So one of the first things I'm going to do is press A for the direct selection tool. And obviously to create a square, you just press M and you can drag out a box like that. But I'm going to select it, press A, and then drag the corners with a little circle you can see in the corners. I want to drag that in so I can get sort of this soft effect like this. Now what I'm going to do is select the button. I'm going to go to Object, Envelope, Distort, and Make with Warp. And what you want to do is go and select the bulge style. This will make it a bit bloated and puffy, so it extends the sides. And you want to bend it like 10%. You could do less if you want. We can do 5% if you want. It just adds like a little bit of depth. So I'll do like 6% and press OK. And you can see it sort of adds this like nice little curve on the top and bottom there, which I like. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is bring in my tools. So I'm going to bring in my appearance panel and also my gradient panel. Okay. Now the thing you want to do is go to your appearance panel first, click the FX button, and then go down to Stylize. Click on Inner Glow. This is going to allow us to add an inner glow shadow. So I'm going to change the color. I'm going to click my color swatches, and I'm going to select one of the same color as the background. Whatever the background color is, select that. Press OK. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure it's on edge and bump up the blur. So you can bump it up a lot, or you can just keep it sort of minimal. I sort of keep it within the 20, 30 pixel range. I think that works. So you can go like 25 pixels. That looks pretty good. You can increase the opacity, but don't go 100%. Sort of like drop it a bit. So maybe like, I don't know, 60%, 50% looks all right. Yeah, let's try 60% for now. And then press OK. So already we're starting to get this soft effect. If I drag the text there, it looks way different to just a flat normal button, right? Even if we added a shadow on this button, you can see with no blur, it would look different. So the main difference you can see is that we added some inner glows. I'm going to add some drop shadows to this one to make it pop even more. So I bring that one up. So we've got this. I'm going to bring my effects back up. So go to the appearance panel, go FX, Stylize, and add drop shadow. Now the reason why we're doing this all in the appearance panel, so it keeps it live, so we can always edit it and it doesn't destroy the original shape itself. So in the drop shadow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the blur. 10 pixels should work. I'm going to drop the offset a little bit. So I think 8 pixels. The Y offset, we can bring that in as well. So 8. And we basically want to make sure the light is hitting from the top left corner, and we're creating a diagonal drop shadow and inner shadows. So it's sort of, add the lighting hits it a different way. You can bring up the opacity, but you don't want to go too high on the opacity. So I try and keep it low, like 30%, 40%, I think does the job. So we'll go 30%, blur 10, I think that's all right, and click OK. Now you can see it's already popping. So if I turn these effects off, you can see we have just the normal button like that. If I turn them on, so we've got the inner glow, then the drop shadow, and it's already popping just like that. Now, one more thing you can do as well to make it even more nicer and smoother is you can add a fill. So we can add another fill here. We'll make that white, and I'm going to add a second fill on top of that fill, so just we have a backup. Now what you can actually do is you can go to your gradient panel and click the gradient color bar, the slider. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this lighter green. Okay, I'm going to make the other one white. Get rid of the black, so drag that down. And now what I'm going to do is make the degrees at 100 degrees, as you can see like this. And what I can do is I can play with the slider like this to change that. the middle section. So you can see instead of having it all green, we want a bit of white there. But what it's actually doing is we can play around to add sort of that effect on top. So for example, if I change the color, you can see, right? I can change the angle. So what if we want the angle of the top? That's why we usually go for a lighter. And you can also play with the transparency. So I can play like with the overlay or color dodge. You can see you're starting to even screen. It starts to change the color a bit with the transparency panel. So I'm just going to bring it back. And you can turn the opacity on the white as well to turn that off. And obviously we've got below that we have the fill. So this fill, we don't really care about the white. You can see the gradient panel, the white is gone. It's on 0%. And now you can see we've got this green color here. And we can play around with the slider. So you can see we can play around with it. And it should adjust it as well. Like you can see the angle there. But usually I go 100. Oh, I got to turn it back on, sorry. Okay. I think even if you wanted to do it on the darker end, that's cool. We can even change the color to a darker. Bring that down. So that just helps soften it up and makes it look more 3D. You can always go ahead, drag the fill and drag it on the little plus button to duplicate it. And now maybe I wanted to add, you know, another type of green. So if I've drag this here, maybe I want it to be a bit more like yellowy or something. As you can see, so we've got sort of this little tint, as you can see. Try and keep the colors like within the style. I'm going to click reverse. So instead of being at the bottom, it's going to be at the top there. And typically, yeah, you want to go for like 100 or 110 usually works. So if I turn this off and on, you can see it just blends it a lot nicer there. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully it's practical and yeah, it makes sense. It looks different than doing a flat design, and there's so many things you can do. You can do it on buttons or, you know, any shape really. And then what you can actually do is, what I'll do is select it and make a graphic style, click plus. So now anytime, let me just move these to the side. Anytime I make a shape or whatever, all I gotta do is just click that graphic style and it's gonna add that effect. And I can always double click the graphic style. Click on the shape and then like edit the stuff on the appearance panel. So if I don't want the dark bit, I can get rid of that, etc. I can go to the inner glow. I can increase the blur or whatever I want to do. And you can get that cool effect. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful. Smash that like button if this was a cool tutorial, and it lets me know that I can create some more tutorials for you in the future. If you're a graphic designer and you want to learn about graphic design, you can check out my Skillshare courses. I have over 25 courses on there. Just click the link in the description below to sign up, and you can check out and learn everything about branding, identity, logos, a whole bunch of stuff, and you're gonna go to the next level as a designer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll chat to you in the next video.